Hello.
Hey, there we are.
How are you?
Great, how are you? Thanks for hopping on with us, Amelia.
Yeah, of course. I'm excited. Answer some questions.
Yeah, so first of all, as we wait for everybody to hop in here, we've already got 18 so far.
Yeah.
For those who don't know me, I'm Donna Lee Woolf. I joined the Peggy Kirk Bell back in January as the new marketing and social media coordinator. So thanks for everybody for liking all of everything that we've been doing lately. But what have you been up to in the last couple of weeks, Amelia?
Well, I live in North Carolina, so luckily our golf course is still open. I'm members at McGregor Downs Country Club, so we're still open, which is great. So playing golf, but social distancing. So you're only allowed, every other mat is closed, so you have to hit every other mat to kind of keep the distance. We have classes online, so we've been using Zoom. I'm sure many of you guys have been using Zoom as well for the classes. So yeah, just taking a lot of walks since there's no gym, outdoor gym workouts, so stuff like that.
So Mike, one of the first questions he wanted me to ask you was to go all the way back to 2013, your first ever Bell National event, the Tar Heel Classic, where you absolutely tore up the front nine. Take me through that round. Do you remember any of it at all?
Yeah, I do. I was playing with Allison Markowitz and I forgot the other girl, but I think she played for Ohio State. Anyways, and they're really good players. So yeah, I can't remember many holes, but I remember I birdied the par 5-6, I think. And I made like a 30-footer, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just making everything. Like, I was just like this little kid, and yeah, definitely one of my favorite memories. It was Finley was the first time I shot in the 70s, that course, so
okay.
It's one of my favorite courses. And I lipped out on hole 9. I remember that. And I also remember shooting 41 on the back.
Yeah.
So I was like so excited, but then 41 was still like pretty good though. Like, I mean, it was okay. It wasn't that bad at the time. 30 was just like incredible.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and I remember I saved a bogey on the last hole, I think, to win. But yeah, that was really cool. And both girls that I played with were just really sweet because I was so young and they were a lot older, but they were just cheering me on and stuff. So that was really nice.
Allison Markowitz is often one of our big supporters as well. She helps out with the Linville Cup and a bunch of other stuff for us too. So we're big fans of Allison.
Yeah.
She played at Wofford, for those of you who aren't aware. So now let's go through a couple of other things. What was your first phone call and meet and greet with Coach Wellen like? How did it go?
Yeah, so when I heard that she was going to be our head coach, my mom called Anna Redding's dad to talk with him about it. And he only said good things about her, just how incredible she was. And I'm friends with a lot of the girls who play at Virginia. So when I would see them, they're like, wow, you're getting our coach. We're kind of jealous. They all loved her. And yeah, when I first met her, she's just full of energy. Carries a Diet Mountain Dew bottle all the time. So she's addicted to Diet Mountain Dew. So yeah, if you want to go to Wake Forest, give her a Diet Mountain Dew. She probably help you out there. But yeah, she's just full of energy. She's so positive, and she's actually my swing coach now.
Okay.
So it's been really awesome to be able to spend time with her. She's Coach Kim and Mama Kim all at once. So she's really awesome.
Did you have any other schools that were really on the top of your list when you were going through that college recruitment process? As a lot of our girls right now are really getting them, their resumes prepped up, getting their emails sent out. What other schools were on your list, or were there any other ones?
Yeah, definitely. So my first thought was I wanted to go to a smaller school that was close to home, and luckily North Carolina has a lot of really good schools. Yeah. But I made sure also to visit a bigger school. So I visited Chapel Hill, Duke, and then I visited Clemson and Georgia. So Georgia was the furthest. I got offers from other places, but Georgia was the furthest I visited. But I wanted to make sure to keep my options open, just in case for whatever reason a big school was like, oh, wow, I actually really like this. But yeah, I think it definitely came down to Duke and Wake. So I actually thought I was going to Coach Brooks hadn't offered me yet, but he seemed really interested, and I thought I was gonna go to Duke. I had like a Duke pillow on my desk. Like I was so motivated to like. But then I visited Wake, and I love Coach Daly and Kevin Diaz, who were the coaches at the time, and I love the facility. Everything was so close in proximity, and yeah, it just felt like the school for me. I feel like everyone says you get that feeling like when you know it's the right place, and when you're first visiting, every school seems like that. But when you kind of visit again and stuff, you really get to know what you like, and what you like more than other schools. So yeah, and it's just been cool to see Wake just kind of blossom as I've been there. We have a sports nutrition center, the Diane Daly Learning Center, and the Haddock House, and all of these different things that have just, I'm so lucky to be able, we have our own gym, athletic gym now. I'm so lucky to be able to have been there during that time. So it's been pretty cool.
Yeah, Wake Women's Golf is a really good Instagram and Twitter account to follow if you guys aren't following them right now. They do a lot of Instagram takeovers with the players. So it's a good one to really get an inside look into how the college, student athlete life is like. So I'd give them a follow, Wake W Golf, right? Is that
yeah.
the account? Okay.
Yeah, something like that. You'll find it.
Yeah, it's easy.
I'm actually doing the Instagram takeover today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah.
So we did have a question come in earlier this afternoon. Can you remember a moment, and this is from Catherine, when you turned a corner in your career and started playing really well and then winning tournaments? Is there a moment in your career that really defines your path?
Yeah. Hi, Catherine. Thanks for the question. So I would say that when I was able to understand how my emotions affect my play, and this came through a lot of maturing, it's easy being competitive, you get really hard on yourself, and you internalize your golf score. I mean, it's a score right there, so you know if it's a good score or a bad score, so it's very easy to know how you played. But through a lot of, my mom, she played college golf at the University of Arizona, so she's always kind of tried to help me with, understanding that you can't, golf has ups and downs. You can't define yourself based on the score. So the more I've been able to, I think sophomore year of college was when I really played well. And yeah, I just think I did a really good job at learning how to control my emotions. And it's not like it just, if you always practice it a little bit every day, and that doesn't mean every day is going to be like great, you eventually get better. And I think, so that's the first thing. And I would say the other thing is just, it's important to learn how to win. So my mom never put me in tournaments that were really high level at first. Like, she made sure to have me play tournaments until I was able to win, even if I was like only one other girl in the field. Like, I need to be able to win first, and knowing how to do that at a young age, then that's when you're able to take those memories when you're playing at a really high level and being, okay, I've done this before. So I would say those are like the 2 things.
So there's another question for you. How do you stay consistent in your game?
Well, I practice a lot. I would say in the summers, probably like when I was really had to develop my swing and, fine tune everything, I would say it's probably like 6 hours, including playing 18 holes. Before I was 18 holes, then kind of 2 hours before. And yeah, and I think I had always been a really good ball striker, but I think just fine tuning my swing was really important, and short game and putting. But I think also it's the quality of practice. So you don't just want to practice for 6 hours.
Right.
I have really good focus, so I'm able to do that for a long time, but some people don't. Like, for example, my teammate Jennifer Kupcho, who many of you probably know, she's a really phenomenal player, but she's someone who is able to do a really, really good practice in maybe like 3.5 hours, or just different things work for different people. Laura Davis, incredible LPGA player, she didn't really practice at all, but she was #1 in the world. So it's really about finding what works best for you and what you like to do. Switch it up, do things that are fun. You know, if you kind of lose focus sometimes, you know, have chipping contests or contests with your friends, different things like that. Because the harder you work with the most quality, that's how you're going to be the most consistent, pretty much.
So going into another question I just saw, take us through your tournament warm-up. So once you step off the team bus, how are you getting yourself prepared to go tee off?
Yeah, so it actually starts before we leave. So I get up a little bit earlier and I activate my body. I think that's really important, especially for the first day of the tournament, because you could be driving, and it's you don't really realize it until when you start activating your body before warm up, and how much it helps. So I do that. I kind of do, you know, some push-ups and some stretching, just some light things just to warm things up. And then when we get there, you know, I always like to do some jumps before I start with hitting, and then I putt.
Okay.
I like to do some jumps just to kind of, you know, get my body alive, especially when it's, you know, you have those 7:30 tee times, need something to wake you up. And so, yeah, sometimes I start with chipping. It all depends on kind of how it works. I normally hit for 30 minutes, putt for 30 minutes. So, yeah, I normally give myself about an hour and 15 minutes to warm up. And then sometimes, let's say it's an afternoon tee time, I might give myself a little longer and just, you know, putt and chip just to kind of loosen up. But yeah, that's sort of overall what I do for my warm up.
Is there a certain clinic or golf camp as a kid that you really got a lot out of?
Yeah, I went to the UNC golf camp and the Wake Forest golf camp. And I thought it was really fun. It was, my mom helped me a lot with my game. But so I was kind of at a little bit of a higher level when I went to the camp, but they teach you a lot of things. You know, I think most importantly, you know, you're around, my favorite thing about them, you're around people that were like you. You know, you had the golf tan lines, and actually I was so young, I hadn't started, like, I was so young that I didn't even have my tan lines yet. Everyone was talking about it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want those. And now I'm like, well, maybe not. But yeah, so I think all the golf camps, but Wake Forest and UNC, they were incredible. I mean, Coach Mann, head of the UNC women's golf team, she's incredible, and Coach Daly, and now it's Kim Llewellyn and Ryan Potter. They're awesome. They always know how to make it fun. So, and they're really good at what they do. So,
let's see, what else have we got here? What is your favorite golf course you've ever played?
Probably Augusta National.
Yeah.
I got to play it the practice round. Unfortunately, I missed the cut, but I played the practice round for the Augusta Women's National Amateur. And yeah, that definitely at the top of the list. I would say my next two for the Arnold Palmer Cup last year, it was played at the Illustrious Club in Arkansas.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, just an incredible golf course. And then in my sophomore year of college, we went down to the Dominican in Casa de Campo, and we played Teeth of the Dog.
Okay. The Fazio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Fazio, yeah.
Yeah, there too. And it was the first time I had been somewhere where the water was completely blue.
Ooh.
And I think we won the tournament by like 30 shots. So it was a really fun week.
How do you handle a bad day?
Well, I would say when I was younger, I probably didn't handle it very well. Very upset. I would get so mad, and, you know, I'd lose a lot of energy. But I think learning from that, as I've gotten older, I realize how much energy you waste and how you really just track yourself back. So after a day that's not so great, I try to look at what I did well. And if there were not many things I did well, I tried to find a couple. And then I just really tried to have a growth mindset. I think it's really important. Okay, well, these are the things I can work on. And this is great that I have things to work on, because if I didn't, then there's probably something wrong, because you always should have things to work on. So yeah, I think not having a good day, really taking a growth mindset approach, even if, you know, those bad days last for more than a day, if they last a week, if they last months, to remember to always have the growth mindset, because you're always gonna, if you can think about, okay, well, today was also a bad day, but it's a little better of a day than the day before. So it's still a good day. So I think having that growth mindset and getting like 1% better every day, that's something my coach really likes, really instills in us, to get 1% better every day. That's definitely a more helpful and healthy mindset.
So is that one of the best pieces of advice you've ever received?
Yeah, I would say so. And also my coach, she always tells me to be a peacock. So when peacocks spread their wings, they're all like, yeah, I'm really great. So she can sort of tell if I'm, let's say I'm not making any birdies or kind of had a couple bogeys. She's like, Amelia, make sure to be a peacock. All right, coach.
Walk like you're one stroke ahead, play like you're two behind.
Yeah, exactly.
What did you get out of playing in the U.S. Women's Open?
Yeah, that was really cool. I remember I was practicing putting, and I was on the putting green with Lexi Thompson, Christy Kerr, and Michelle Wee. So that was kind of cool. There was like people watching, and that was really awesome. But yeah, it was great to be able to get those nerves out so young, like being able to experience that. I was always obviously very, nervous, but it showed me that while I didn't play as well as I wanted, I know that I have the ability to play really well here, especially seeing Gina Kim, who played so well in the U.S. Open last year. She finished 12th, which was just incredible to watch. I was following live scoring. I was so excited for her. But then it's also great because you see, okay, well, she can do it and I can do it too. But yeah, it was cool to see the players there, and also Cheyenne Woods, being able to interact with some of the players. And Cheyenne Woods is someone who's just incredible, so sweet, so welcoming. She, even when I think she missed the cut, but she saw me, she's like, oh, hi, how are you? She wasn't all grumpy and walked away. Mm-hmm. So it was cool to interact with certain players. I got to meet Lydia Ko, which was nice. But the overall experience was really awesome.
There's another question for you. What made the biggest advancement in your game?
I would say working on my short game. For anyone out there who's really good ball striker, you probably don't practice a lot of chipping. So I just wouldn't practice a lot of chipping because my bad shots were normally I would be able to putt off the fringe or a long putt. So once I practiced a lot more of that, things were, when I didn't have as good of a ball striking day, I was able to back that up with my chipping, which was really, really key. And the other thing was I was able to, before I used to always leave putts short, in position putts 20 feet and in, I wouldn't get them to the hole. And I think that was because I was afraid of my return. I was afraid of having a 3-footer so then I wouldn't hit it. And so I think once I started practicing hitting those putts past the hole, then I saw myself making a lot more putts, and if I missed it, I was still only 2 feet by, which is just a tap in.
Right.
So,
yeah.
I think those were the two things that really propelled my game, because I made a lot more putts, and if I missed the green, I almost always made up and down.
You seem to have an on-off switch, and it's never off when it comes to match play. You're an absolute beast. You look at your record in the Arnold Palmer Cup, the NCAA tournament. You've got to like match play. What's been your, so why are you so successful in that format?
I think it goes back to my competitiveness. I mean, match play is different from just regular stroke play. It's win or lose, and I want to win, but I'm not thinking about that when I'm playing. I'm just, I don't know. It's just this feeling inside. I don't know. I'm really focused and I'm really driven. And I think those two characteristics make me really mentally strong to, regard. And I also never give up. I think that's really important. Sometimes in stroke play, some people will even if they're on track to shoot 80, will just kind of make a couple more bogeys, shoot 83. Mm-hmm. If I'm on track to shoot 80, I'm gonna make a couple birdies, shoot 77. So I think that mentality too has really helped me. And also in a team setting, when I'm playing, my team is just in my mind. I am playing for the team. I don't care about my records or winning or whatever. In the Eastlake Cup, which we played in the fall, my coach, I think I was one down at the time, and my coach was like, Amelia, if you win the match, we're going to win the tournament. I'm like, okay, coach, I got it. And I was just I'm ready to go. And I was not playing hitting the ball well. Like I was missing greens, but I made up and down from everywhere, and like she was walking with me, and then I won on the 18th hole. But yeah, I just think I don't ever give up, even if no matter how down I am. If I'm really up, I just pretend we're all square and I need to keep making birdies. So I think those two things kind of propel the wins.
So there's a question from MK. What best practice, golf and non-golf, do you suggest for high school seniors as they prepare to go on for college and then to play golf collegiately as well?
So I would say that's a really good question.
Yeah.
Definitely, I mean, there's a specific drill that my coach has us do for putting, and it's 3-6-9. So setting those up 4 times around, so you have 12 tees, and 3 feet is 1 point, 6 feet is 2 points, and 9 feet is 3 points, and tour average is 18 points. So that's a really good drill, because if a college coach sees you 5 feet and in, you're just making every putt, like that's really important. And also just playing tournaments. Like the best way to get better is playing tournaments. You see sometimes a lot of players, like they'll play well and then they'll stop playing tournaments because they're afraid of playing bad and like seeing like a college coach seeing them playing bad. So keep playing tournaments. Work on your ball striking. Coaches love like good accuracy, and even if you hit it far and you're not accurate, they love that too, because that's easily tamed. So yeah, and just believe in yourself. If you have drive, even if you believe in yourself, they're going to believe in you. So even if maybe your junior year, senior year, like you feel like things aren't quite there, but if they see your skill and they believe you're going to work hard, then they're going to pick you for your team. So,
are there any habits that have hurt you in your golf career, you think?
Yeah, getting really, really upset after a bad day. I wish I could, go back and have that growth mindset and not a fixed mindset. But, I think it was good that I had that, because now I understand, the negative aspects of those. And I would say, I don't know if this necessarily hurt my game, but, as a kid, you don't really you don't hang out with your friends in the afternoon. You don't do a bunch of things because you're really focused on, you have this goal, this I want to play college Division I golf and I want to be the #1 player on the LPGA. You have these goals that are just so much higher than many people who are just, they're just kids. And so I think being kind of upset and sad that I was different, I think that in not believing in myself, I think that probably hurt me a little bit. But now I'm, very proud of what I stand for and what I do. And so if anyone's out there who feel that way, make sure you're proud of what you do, because it's incredible. So keep going.
Are we ever going to see a creative writing book from you that talks about your golf career?
Well, so I'm writing a book now, and I don't have a title, but it's not about me, but it's about this girl. Her name's Heather Kingston, and she grows up wanting to win the U.S. Open.
Okay.
So it starts off where she watches Pat Hurst and Annika Sorenstam. I believe it's the 2009 U.S. Open. They had an 18-hole playoff on Monday, and she watched with her dad Annika win. And so that's sort of I want to do this. And she's 7 years old at the time, and it goes up to when she is in college. So yeah, it's not the same aspects of same experiences as me, but there's definitely some tournaments and stuff in there and some memories. I remember one time I was hitting the ball so bad. I was probably 11, and my mom was like, "Okay, Emilia, we need to go to the parking lot and do some rehearsals because we can't hit off of this range anymore." And then I, striped down the middle on the first hole. So
playing this earlier this year at the Darius Rucker, and what I think a lot of people said is one of the hardest playing conditions that they've ever had. How did you get through that?
Yeah, so it was interesting. So I started off the tournament with a double bogey and then a bogey. So I was 3 over after 2.
Not good.
No, not good. And it was really windy. But I told myself, because I had played in those conditions before, and I said, Emilia, this could have happened on your bogey could have happened on the 12th hole today, and your double bogey could have happened on the 7th hole the second day. It could have been completely spread out. It just happened to be together. And if I'm making a double bogey, probably other people are going to make double bogeys. Sometimes it's easy to forget that, if you're playing tough conditions, that you need to play perfect. But if you're not playing perfect, that means the rest of the field is probably not playing their best golf either. So that was helpful. And I just, threw those scores away. I was like, okay, I can do this. And, so once I kind of got in the groove and got back, because I didn't even play, we didn't make a double bogey. Like, there wasn't even like many bad shots. It just like made double. And, I was just really able to have a positive mindset. So, because, when you have a negative mindset for more than 4 holes, you can't get back. That's what I learned in Vision 54 Academy that I went to. So that was sort of, okay, Amelia, you got to like snap out of this now. I have really good ball striking, so that really helped in the wind. And yeah, it was cool. There were like hundreds of people out there, so it was a really fun week. And we won by 26, so that was really even win. More fun.
Huge win. Let's see. Question from Grace: how far do you hit your driver?
I probably hit my driver about 255, 260. So, yeah. We have one of my teammates, Lauren Walsh. She probably hits it like 270. But yeah.
See, we'll be wrapping up this conversation here in a couple of minutes. So any other questions, go ahead and drop them in now. What would you recommend if you're wanting to go to a Division I school?
Well, I would say that making sure that you can hit the scoring average of Division I golf. The worst thing is you get into the school as a walk-on, and then you can't like travel. And so I would say, you definitely want to have a scoring average of at least par, and have those scores that are in under par in tournaments, so college coaches can see that. And yeah, just visit a lot of schools. There are a lot of D1 schools out there, and it's kind of like scholarships too. Like, people don't realize how many scholarships are out there until they actually, do their research. So, visit a bunch of schools, even the ones you think, oh, maybe, I don't know. If you're unsure, just visit anyway. Can't hurt. So, yeah.
Did you prefer taking the ACT or the SAT in high school?
So I was told to take the ACT. I get really good grades. I can get A's on tests. I've made Dean's List every semester at Wake, but I suck at ACT and SAT. So I took the ACT, and that was that. So that's all we're going to say about that.
What is your best club in the bag?
I would say my driver and my 7-iron. I love my 7-iron. I hit it all the time. So, and driver's always a great club. And
you're an all ping, right?
Yes, all ping.
Yeah. Is that everyone at Wake or just you?
There's a couple girls now that are going all ping. We just went to the ping headquarters before this all coronavirus hit. And some girls got fit in, they're all ping. But yeah, I've been all ping, I think, since I was about 14. But they're just incredible. They it's been really cool to see them support me for so long, even when I wasn't like a super studly player, but they believed in me. And yeah, it's been really awesome to work with them.
Aspirations going beyond, Wake Forest, you're hoping to eventually make it onto the LPGA. What needs to happen from here to then, for that to occur?
Yeah, so I will need to play Q school, which
right.
I think if they go by off Wagger rankings, I'll be exempt into the second stage. And I think that's been delayed now until November.
Yeah.
But
yep.
So yeah, I'll play that. And I'm not really sure what the requirements are to finish, like what you need to finish in the top to go on to third stage. But I know Stacey Lewis, she told me good advice. She said, if you're worried about missing, or like worried about like if you're going to get into the like requirements to go on to the next stage or get your full status in your card, you're not going to make it at all. You know, she went with that mindset of, I'm going to win Q school. And she did. She won third stage. So that's definitely the mindset I'm going to have going in. So yeah, but it was nice to have some wisdom from her for my number one. So
yeah. How would you recommend reaching out to a coach?
Probably email, I guess. I don't know if you're allowed to call them. I'm not really sure with all these recruiting roles because I didn't have like that, all those different things. But yeah, definitely email. I mean, they respond. My coaches, they talk about different girls that have emailed them many times. So yeah, I think email is the best. And actually, I would scratch that. I would say they also have, so yes, you can email them, but also they have these prospect camps that they do now, which is like a great way. So I would look on their websites and do a prospect camp. That's a really great way that before you're a junior, you can get to know the coach and like, you know, they can get to know you and look at your game and stuff. So I would definitely, so email them to like reach out. But if you like really are interested in the school, want to spend time with them and you want them to see your game, I would definitely sign up for a prospect camp, which it's on their websites and stuff.
What do you do for fun outside of golf?
Well, I spend time with Mogi Adamczyk, who was the person that answered that question. But I love working out. I'm kind of a gym rat, so I know some people absolutely, you either like hate the gym or you love the gym. So I'm a gym lover. And yeah, so I love to work out and I love to read. I've been reading a lot of books now since we're quarantined. And then something people would be surprised to learn about. I don't know. I mean, I guess if you didn't know I wrote a book, I wrote a book. So I feel like that's been publicized a lot though. Oh yeah, I have one. At the Palmer Cup, it was at the Lotion Club, and we had lunch with Bill Clinton. So that was really cool. Wasn't at the table where he was. I was at like one of the side tables in the back, but he was there, and he gave a speech, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and the Lotion Club is one of the only clubs I think right now in the South that doesn't have a USGA rating. They're wanting to keep it where they don't have a USGA rating. I don't know if that's changed since they've hosted. Interesting.
Did they say why?
They wanted to be that exclusive. Yeah, it's an interesting nugget about that. But
there's been rumors. I don't know. Rumors are speculated that it's like $1 million entry fee to like join the club, but I don't know.
The Lotion is really nice.
Don't put me hard on that one.
Yeah, and of course you were selected again. So congratulations on making the
Thank you.
Cup. Hopefully it will happen.
I know it's July. It's in July, so we have the whole month of June to pray.
Have you ever been over to Great Britain and Ireland to play in an event before?
I haven't actually, so I'm really, really excited. So many people have talked about playing in Ireland, and I have a teammate who is from Ireland. But yeah, I'm so excited, and it's even more fun because two of the Wake men's golf and my teammate Rachel Keene are all also on the Palmer Cup. So it's just going to be so fun to be with the three of them and I mean, you know, it's kind of like the Linville Cup, like, you know, all the people that are playing. So it's going to be a great time.
So last question before we let you go. What's your favorite memory so far of your previous two Arnold Palmer Cups? Oh, my favorite memory.
Well, I would say in general, just being in awe at the incredible courses. So the first one was in Evian, France. It was where they play the major there. And then the second was the Lotion Club. And just being in awe of how pristine the courses are. And there's also, at the Palmer Cup every year, you have to sign 100 flags. So everyone sits in a table, and my name is really long, and you have to make it eligible because they talk about how important, people can see what your signature looks like.
Yep.
So I'm
Mr.
sitting
Palmer's
there like,
number one rule.
Yeah, trying to write really fast, but so I have like 20 flags or maybe 10 flags is like lined up. They're like, Amelia, you gotta hurry up. I'm like, I'm trying. So I'd say that's always a fun memory because it's kind of a tradition every year. And then, the ceremony is always fun where you get to know who the matches are. And it's funny because the guys will always guess, like, when they'll be out, if they'll be first out or last out, or, we're next. Like, so that's always kind of fun.
All right. Any other questions from anyone viewing before we let Emilia head off to, I'm assuming, going to be the gym before dinner?
Yep. I think someone had a question up here. If you were considering Duke and Wake Forest, which are both very high education schools, what were your grades in high school? Yes. So I think that they obviously both, I had all A's and 1B in high school, and it was before I had a 90 in math and 90%, but it was 93 was an A, and then the next year they changed it to 90 being an A. But anyways, but I did not take any AP classes, so that's one thing. I know a lot of people think that, oh, you gotta take a lot of AP classes, but I took honors classes. So don't feel like if you're not good in a subject or something that you feel like you have to take like a bunch of AP classes. It definitely helps, like, so you don't have to take as many credits in college. But just, that's one thing to note. But yeah, I mean, just study hard. It's really important to have really good time management when you're studying, because sometimes it's easy to like, oh, I can just study the night before and do fine. But in college, especially at Duke or Wake Forest, which is also known as Work Forest, you can't study the night before. You're going to be screwed. But in both of those institutions, which when I visited Duke, what they told me about, and when I'm at Wake, so I know this, but the professors are incredible because the classes are smaller. They really work with you and help you, and you can go to office hours, and participation, at least at Wake, is, almost all classes require it. So you're really able to engage in the classroom, and that really helps, being able to do well in a university that's really hard academically. So that really helps.
Here's a good final question for you. What is your mental approach when you play your best round ever the first day of an event, but you have, say, 3 other days remaining?
I would say, so when you have a bad round, you got to throw it away. But when you have a good round, you want to feed off of it, but you also got to throw it away. You don't want to think about, oh, I want to like protect it or something like that. A really good approach that I took especially when I won ACCs, was after playing really well the first 2 days, it was 36 holes in one day, was that like someone is making a run right now. I would tell myself that. There's someone out there just making a ton of birdies, and it would just motivate me to continue making birdies. And sure enough, my teammate Swing Lou was like 5 under through 12. So I think that definitely really helps me when I have a really good round the first day and I need something to like, making sure I'm not just protecting the round, that I'm like continuing to fire out and like shoot another good score. So just always think there's someone out there who's making a run, making like 6 birdies in a row, and then you're gonna, make some birdies.
All right, Emilia. Well, thanks for hopping on with us for these
this
last
is so
40
much
minutes.
fun.
It's been a blast.
Thank you.
And again, we'll have Anna Redding on here on Monday at 11 a.m. So we'll have another fun chat with the Symetra Tour player. Gina Kim, who we talked about earlier in the broadcast, she'll be on next week as well. And Allison Emery has been scheduled. So we'll have 3 more in the next couple of weeks, and we're already looking for more. So hopefully you guys are all at home staying safe, and we'll hope to see you guys soon.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye. Have a great day, guys.